Hello, everybody. This is Toni Turner, and welcome to the market now on Friday, August 8th at about 12:30 p.m. Eastern. Well, Wall Street is trading at all-time highs so far today, setting up a strong finish to the week after President Donald Trump's interim pick for a Fed governor fueled expectations of a more dovish policy ahead. We'll see. And now let's go on to three charts that could give us some insight into the week to come. First of all, as we always do, we're going to look at a daily chart of the S&P 500 SPDR, symbol SPY. Of course, this is the ETF that closely follows our benchmark S&P 500 index. Now, when I captured this chart today, the XPY was trading at $637.15. You could say just by a few cents below its new all-time closing high. And I don't know if you can see this tiny little this tiny little candle back here, but anyway, the official all-time closing high on July 27th was at 638. We may close above that today, but certainly we're right up to it. So the SPY is trading at a premium too still, although we're starting to cut it close here to its 20-day, that's the red line here, the 20-day moving average is coming in at $630.60. The 50-day moving average is coming in at about $616. And the black line, the 200-day moving average, is coming in at $589 and change. Now, we know that since the February closing high, since the February all-time closing high at $612.93, we know the SPY rolled over from there and dove pretty hard, coming all the way down to finally to stop here at its April 7th low. That was at $481.80. Then it bounced up here, of course, then we got the rally back up, then it kind of hit its head on the 20-day moving average and came back down here to 508. Then it rallied really hard up here to 595, dipped down to the 200-day moving average at 578. Then climbed, as you can see, climbed nicely back up to where we are now, a little dip here last week, but back up to where we are now at $637. Now, since this April low at about 482, all the way up, if you bought right at the lows and you have it right now, you've earned about a 32% gain. That's pretty sweet. What we can do here is we say, now what do we do? I'm going to draw a trend line here, and if I can draw it straight enough, anyway, it's going to be pretty close. You can see what we have going on now. We do have, you say, what do you do with this next week? Well, we want to know what's going on next week, and I'll talk about that in a minute. Please know that 32% from lows back up here is a pretty strong run for any market. I've been doing this for a lot of years, and while it certainly isn't impossible, we've just seen it done. Please do know that even though these companies that are doing so well, and I'm really glad, it all looks good, in the short term, if for no other reason, traders take profits. So we want to be a little bit careful here. So I'm going to say that right now, looking at this chart, we want to mark some resistance here. We'll call resistance here at 639, 640. That's all we've got here as far as potential resistance goes. And then we can go back to our moving averages and say that we have potential short-term resistance at the 20-day moving average, again coming in at about 630. We have a price pivot here at 619. We have the 50-day moving average coming in at 616 right here. There's plenty of potential support here. Another price pivot at 592. That might be this highs here. I'm not sure if that's the one I mean, or maybe it's right down here, 592. We have the 200-day moving average coming in here at 589 and change. So a lot of potential price support, moving average support, should the market have to give some payback here, as we call it. and on down. Now, in the coming week, and we've been going up for quite a while now, so I'm tending to take some profits off the table here. I've been doing it for the last couple of weeks, and I've told you about it. So just being a little bit cautious here. And in the coming weeks, we're going to have more earnings coming out. We've got the CPI, or Consumer Price Index, on Monday. That's always a big deal. And the PPI, or the Producer Price Index, coming out on Wednesday of next week. We have the retail sales report coming out. That'll be important. So for buyers to maintain this level of enthusiasm, because we've had a heck of a run here, it will be best, and I'm going to be watching this 50-day moving average here at 616. It will be best, of course, if the S&P can stay above its 50-day moving average. So that's what I'm looking for here, for a strong S&P. And of course, again, it would be very natural if we had a little bit of payback here, or the SPY pulled into a rest stop for a little while. Our next chart today is a daily chart of the Invesco QQQ symbol, the Invesco QQQ symbol QQQ. Of course, this is the ETF that closely follows our NASDAQ 100 index, which is the top 100 non-financial stocks in the NASDAQ stock market, of course, including all the Magnificent Seven, Meta, Google, NVIDIA, Microsoft, that whole group. Now, when I captured this chart today, the Qs were trading at $574.10, just above yesterday's. That little candle there had the all-time closing high so far yesterday at about 569. So we're right at the all-time highs here. The 20-day, the red line is coming in, the 20-day moving average at 563.56. The 50-day coming in here at 548. The 200-day down here at about $512 and change. Now, we look back at this chart and we say, since the February all-time high back here at $539.52, the Qs, just like the SPY, rolled over good and hard here, tried to catch up in March but couldn't, came down to their April. Everybody had an April 7th low, and then the Qs did, of course, as well. The Qs dropped to 402 on April 7th, then rallied back up to the 20-day, got hit on the head, came back down here, pulled back to 428, and then rallied again, just like the SPY, to where we are now, all the way back up here to 574, right at all-time highs. Now, we can draw kind of a trend. I want to draw it here, but I want to draw it in the right place. You can, well, I'm not drawing it straight enough, am I? Anyway, something like this. So we've got a trend line coming up here from these lows down here at 402. If you bought at 402 and you're up here now at 574, that has been a 42% run up, so pretty sweet. Looking at this, we know what's going on next week, at least to some degree. And so we look at this chart and we say, again, does there need to be payback here? Do we need to get a little softening here? Maybe. So we're going to mark resistance here if we come into it about 575-ish. Again, we have potential support here, near-term support at the 20-day at 563. Well, you can even use this trend line if you want to at 560. Then we've got the 50-day at 548. We've got 539, or was the prior. I'm not drawing that straight, am I? Yeah, pretty good. 539 were prior highs resistance, or support, I should say, excuse me. We have the 200-day down here at 512 and so forth. So lots of potential moving average and price support here should the Qs need it. And as I mentioned, in the coming week, we do have a lot going on. So this all looks good, nothing really to dislike. But we need to be cautious here. And as traders, if we're short-term traders, maybe take a few profits here, depending on what's going on for sure. But definitely keep your protective stops in place. Our final chart today is one we haven't looked at in a very long time. This is the Amplify Alternative Harvest ETF. Of course, as you know, it's the cannabis ETF. Symbol is MJ. It has 8 holdings, only 8. This is small. This is still a small industry. The top holdings in the MJ are Tilray, SNDL, Kronos Group, Aurora Cannabis, and Canopy Growth. Now, I've been going through tons of ETFs, of course, today, looking for possibilities, and so many of them are way overbought, and of course that's been true for the past couple of weeks. So when I came upon the MJ, I just love this pattern here, so I looked into it a little more deeply. But I'll say quickly here, when I captured this chart, the MJ was trading today at $24.29. The moving averages are coming in here, the 20-day at $21.73, the 50-day at about 19, the green line, and the 200-day moving average is coming in here, kind of slicing right through today's price at about $24. So you can tell by this ETF that MJ has been coming down for quite a while and just now catching up with that 200-day that's coming down overhead. We'll see if that stays strong in the next few days. So again, a lot of ETFs are overbought, and I've been watching the MJ for about a month. Now, you can't see it on this chart, but if you could, last August, a year ago, the MJ was trading at $45. And I think it was going up on a lot of, I'll call it hype. But then, you gotta have good earnings. You can't go on without that. So the MJ didn't do well, and these cannabis stocks fell all the way down from 45 a year ago to 17 in April of this year, just a few months ago. And but then I saw as it's falling more volume, and it was selling, and then in April, a lot of, or I should say more volume came into it. The RSI became oversold pretty dramatically here. It actually did become oversold as it moved down, but it came dramatically oversold here in April. Then the RSI started back up, and the MJ started up here. It got to about 22 in May. Then it gradually started coming back down again into the end of June, and it came back down to about 16, retested these April lows, then started up again. And I started watching it a little more in July because I saw definitely more volume coming into it. I thought, well, that's a little shallow potential double bottom, which is what we have now. And then I waited to see if it would break out. It moved back up over its 20-day, over its 50-day. Then the 20 crossed the 50, which is always good. And it maintained its level here, trading right around between $19 and $22, and then broke out just in the last few days. I'm going to call it a quiet breakout. So when we see a double bottom pattern, then if that happens, of course, then we can take this back here. So that would be a double bottom with a breakout here. So it's a quiet double bottom, a quiet breakout. But I'm going to keep watching this because I think there's a little more encouragement out there potentially for this. I'm not going to tell you I agree one way with the other or the other with what is being sold here, but it is a financial product. It is what it is, so I'm watching it. So in the coming week, the way this is looking, in the coming week, if the MJ can stay above the 20-day moving average, and that's at 2173. I've got this all pretty tight in here, but I kind of want to do it that way right now. If the MJ can stay above the 20-day moving average, again, coming in at 2173, and if the market's behaving reasonably well, and by the way, these stocks don't really care about what the market's doing that much, so they're not going to track the market too much. If the MJ again stays above 2173 and the market's behaving reasonably well, I will buy a small position for my trading portfolio. I'm going to put a tight stop down here at 2150. You can finagle this any way you want. You can kind of see the general pattern here. If and when the MJ, and this may take a little while, if it trades above and closes above 28, and that's from this last high up here. I guess I'm not drawing that line very well. Anyway, if it gets up here and gets as high up here over 27 toward 28, I will add to my position, and then, of course, my stop by then will be a trailing stop. So you may want to keep an eye on the MJ in the coming week. And now, please know that at ToniTurner.com, we've lowered the price of all of our online training programs to make them more accessible to everyone. So if you'd like to become a more profitable trader, this is a great time to check out my timeless training programs. In my trading program, How to Swing Trade Successfully, you'll learn how to target the best stocks to trade, exactly when and where to enter, and when to take the juiciest profits from price upswings. You'll also discover how to use my secret money management strategies. This is a great market for swing trading right now. You could even use it with this MJ trade. Our new low price for this program is only $187. And by the way, some of my trainings listed here are priced at only $59. When you order, you'll receive special bonuses, including 1 month of Metastock daily charts or one month of Metastock real-time charts for free. And once you purchase, you'll have unlimited access to learn at your own pace. So from our ever-popular 7 steps to successful trading, again, to how to swing trade successfully, how to trade the trend to profits, how to read chart, great for novices, 3 winning setups, great for short-term traders, and bottom fish like a pro. Discover how my online programs can help you earn more money quickly and easily. Check them out now by going to the link on this screen, or easier still, just click on the orange button below. Until next week, be careful out there. Keep green on your screen. I'm Toni Turner, and this is The Market Now.